Hey everyone, my name is Jazz, and for today's video, I'm going to make sure you never have to play with cold hands ever again. I'm going to cover some general advice to prevent cold hands, as well as some kind of quick fixes to help right away. Enjoy. The main reason you get cold hands is because of your body not letting enough blood into your hands and feet. Now to fix this, we first need to find the root of the problem. Why don't you have good blood flow? Well, the main reasons include nervousness, time of day, or having a bad cardiovascular system, which basically just means your heart and veins aren't working efficiently. Now, you can skip ahead in the video to whatever reason you think you might have for cold hands, but I recommend watching it all the way through because some of these fixes will help no matter what. When you're nervous, you can get cold hands and feet, and this is most likely unavoidable. So to fix your cold hands, you need to become more confident and less nervous. I've made a video about nervousness in the past, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But if you think that nervousness is the main reason for your cold hands, then go watch that video. It's in the description below. The second reason you could have cold hands is because of the time of day. Everyone has an internal clock. This clock decides when you get tired and when you wake up. It's actually called the circadian rhythm. But what this clock also does is control the blood flow to your hands and feet. This graph shows your wrist temperature throughout the day. As you can see, it is highest during the time that you're usually asleep and is lowest in the early afternoon and early evening. So if you notice you have cold hands during these times, try to schedule your playtime differently or change your bedtime, because these patterns will change depending on your personal rhythm. If you start going to bed 1 hour earlier or later, the pattern will roughly also shift an hour earlier or later because you're actually changing your internal clock. And if you don't go to sleep roughly at the same time every day, you're going to be playing worse no matter what. So have a consistent sleep schedule and stick to it. The final big reason your hands could be cold is having a bad cardiovascular system. Now, I noticed this myself when I checked my blood pressure a while ago, just for fun, and I noticed it was fairly high compared to what you think I would have, because I eat fairly healthy, I look fairly healthy, I'm not very obese or anything, like I'm fairly skinny actually, and I noticed it was because I wasn't exercising. So I actually started exercising, and I probably run like 3 or 4 times a week. And ever since I started running, I've not had cold hands at all. So I've also been upping the tempo and pressuring myself into running at least 3 times a week. And I've been going further distances and pushing myself. And I've noticed no cold hands. I feel better, and my hands problems are just completely fixed. So if you feel like that might be the problem for you, if you're not exercising, go for it, and I'm sure you can do it. It'll fix a lot of your problems. Alright, so those were the possible reasons for your cold hands. Now, let's dive into some quick fixes that might help you temporarily right now. Number 1, raise your body temperature. You can do this by either turning up the heat in your room or by wearing more clothes. Now, the way this works is basically once your body temperature rises, your body will try to release heat, and this will do it mainly in 2 ways. You'll start sweating and you'll start releasing heat from your hands and feet. Hopefully you won't sweat too much. It kind of depends on your genetics, how much you sweat and how much your hands will get warm. But this is obviously the most, obvious fix, but it has a couple of downsides. It can be expensive if you want to keep turning up the heat, and it can make you think and play a bit slower. Number 2, submerge your hands into warm water for 2 minutes. This is probably the best quick fix out there. Grab a bowl or just use the sink and fill it with warm water. Close to hot, but you don't want to burn yourself. After you take your hands out, they'll try to release the heat. So you'll notice that your hands will probably get a little bit red and it'll start releasing heat. This is temporary, but if you want a quick fix, it'll definitely help. Number 3, in between games, let your hands hang next to you. Now, what this will do is it'll force gravity to kind of pull your blood down. Whenever you have your hands above your heart level, it'll actually be harder for your heart to pump blood into your hands. But when you have it below your heart, So when you let it hang, for example, it'll be easier and gravity will actually help out a little bit. Now, you might not notice instant effects, but if you do this in between every game, it should help a little bit. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoy my content, please leave a comment down below. This will actually help me grow my channel because YouTube will recommend my videos to more people. Also, if you have any questions, just ask and I'll be sure to answer them. See you next week.